Welcome back to the shop, guys. As you guys can see, we've got our latest and greatest project sitting behind us. So you guys might be able to tell right off what it is, but for those who can't, it is a first generation Chevy S-10. It's an extended cab model. I found this thing on a super good deal and I just couldn't pass it up. The thing that drove me to it was not the condition of the truck. Let's put it that way, guys. This thing is, the body's in pretty, at least the bed's in pretty rough shape. The interior is kind of, it's wibbly wobbly. The cab's pretty solid, no rust, and the front end's pretty decent. But the bed is just trashed. But the thing that drew me to it is that right there. This is a factory option. I don't know if this truck particularly came factory with it, but it was a factory option or a dealer option. Dual rear wheel S-10. This thing is freaking sweet. I've got a few ideas for it. I'm not going to explain everything right now. Our first matter of order, though, is to get this beat up bed off. And then the fuel pump got taken out, so it needs to be swapped out. So we'll get the bed off and assess that situation. But I've got some ideas for this thing, guys. And it ought to be. All right, guys, we got the bed all loosened up. Let's go grab the tractor real quick, and we'll run a train across that. Just lift it out of here with the tractor and set it out behind the shop somewhere. Real quick, guys, before I take this bed off here, I want to show you guys the factory fender flares or dealer option, whatever you want to call them. As you can see, they were a bit weird and kind of bulky. Not a big fan of them. I was contemplating on trying my hand at making another one of these, getting a new bed, and putting it back to the factory style. But I don't think that's the way that I want to go, because I just don't like the way that looks. I think, the more and more I think about it, as several people have mentioned to me already, this truck would look sweet in a flatbed. Nothing heavy duty, nothing crazy, not like what you normally see on a normal dually. That's way too heavy for this truck. It's a light duty flatbed. And I think it would look good. So we're gonna give that a shot. It might be a total burn down failure. But if it is, at least at that point I can say I gave it a shot to do it. But I'm super ecstatic about this project, guys. I drove a similar truck in high school. I've been trying to get another one without having to spend an arm and a leg. So when this one came up for the price it did, I had to jump on it. So guys, we've got that bed off there. As you guys can see, we got something weird going on here. The driver's side there's a little bit lower than the passenger side. I don't think the frame's bent. I think there's something suspension wise going on. If you look right here, good amount of gap. This is kind of kicked backwards slightly, not a whole lot. You look over here, you look right here, there is no gap. This is back a lot further. So I just think we got something going on right here. We'll take a look at it. It's not my primary concern at the moment. That situation is. So let's get to looking. Well, guys, this isn't good. So shine a little light in there, and I can actually see down in the hole. And I'm pretty sure that's a Coke can and a bunch of trash sitting in the bottom. So yeah, I don't think we're gonna end up messing with this tank. I got a buddy down the road that's keeps a plethora of these square bodies. I'm gonna get up with him, see if he's got an extra tank that he'd be willing to sell me. If not, I have a tank that I think will work, or that we can make work. Just rather not go that direction if we can. A couple of days, I was able to go to my buddy's house and grab another tank, and I went to go throw the new fuel pump in it, and I learned something new. So this tank's out of a second generation S-10, 94 to 03, whenever they quit making them. The one we're working on is the first gen, 82 to 93. What I didn't know, because these tanks look almost identical, the new tank is about a ½ inch shorter. I'm not going to be able to use this tank. I'm going to have to clean this one out, because the fuel pump for this one is like, I think it's another $100 on top of what I've already spent, and they don't even have it in stock. So we're just going to clean this one out real quick, get all the gunk out of it, and get it slapped in there. I don't know if we'll get all that done today, because I've got a bunch of errands I got to go run. We're going to at least get it cleaned out, and the new fuel pump installed, hopefully sitting in the rails. Doubt we'll be able to put any gas in and crank it, but a little progress is better than no progress. All right, well, we got our new fuel pump in. The tank's kind of just sitting in here right now. I've got to get the hardware for these straps, and I had to cut this one off, so I got to get a new stud for it. But for just seeing if this thing's gonna work and if this truck's gonna run, we should be good to go. Let's put a little gas in the tank, see if she'll fire. Well, guys, I think we're either missing a fuse, or a fuse is blown, or we got a broke wire between our panel and the fuel pump. I don't have time to mess with that right now. Hopefully I'll be able to get back out here tomorrow afternoon. Try to get this thing running, because I want to see it run. I really do. Till then, guys. I guess so. Hey, fuel pump's on. There, tell him. Ooh, it's wet. Wet. Oh yeah. Yep. It's disconnected. Oh, that would probably do it. Yep. But the fuel pump's on, so that's good. Let it run. See what it does. That's fine. Yeah. It's gonna run like crap because the stuff's disconnected. I'm working out some bubbles too. Okay. Oh yeah, that's good. I like it. Slap it back on. Give it another roll? Yeah. See what happens.
care, we can cut this part out.
Yeah.
I know the editor.
Ooh,
We can cut that
that was
part out
good.
too.
Doesn't like to be under a load, huh?
It's to be broken back in.
Shift's pretty good. Brakes are definitely squishy. Alrighty guys, somewhere in here I lost the audio with the new microphone I was testing out. We're taking this door off because the window regulator is bad in it, as well as there is a bunch of dents on here, so I've got another door that I'm going to replace it with. So there's no point in it staying on the truck, not to mention the truck's going to get repainted, so the door's going to have to come off it anyways. Well, as you guys can see, we're able to get this old girl running. Took a door off. Found out that wheels they had on this thing, which are now over there, but one of them is, were the complete wrong bolt pattern. Somebody rigged some stuff to make that try to work. So we're going to find a set of front wheels for this thing to get it a little better. But we got this thing running, it was clearly obvious that this thing's been sitting up for a long time, guys. We got valve cover gaskets that are leaking. The pump seal for the transmission is leaking. Rear main seal, which rear main seal is typical for Chevrolets. That is what it is. So we've got some things to fix there. Some vacuum lines that are no longer present that we're going to have to reconnect to get where it'll idle out pretty decent and actually want to drive down the road without shutting off. But overall, I think we made some good progress on this truck. I'm sure the more that we go into it, we'll find some other stuff. We'll have to fix it as we go. But I think I've kind of settled out a little bit that I'm going to keep this truck for a little while. I had one when I was in high school. They were able to get another square body S-10 up until now. And kind of want to relive some of the things that I wasn't able to do because I didn't have the tools or the knowledge to do back then. So I'm thinking we'll end up keeping these dually wheels. We might either build a custom bed for it, or we'll get another factory bed and build some sweet flares, unlike the factory ones that came with it. Not a fan of those. They didn't flow right. They look horrible. And then I was thinking about static dropping this thing, maybe like a 3.4 or 4.5. But I always wanted to do airbags. I've never done them, never played with them. It's going to be a whole new experience, but I think we're going to go that direction, guys. I really do. This is something that kind of excites me a little bit, something I haven't really thought about doing in a long time until this truck came up for sale and I was able to get my hands on it. We got quite a little ways to go before we get the suspension side of it. I want to make sure all the leaks are tied up. It's running good. We get this other door probably put back on. The other one's missing a window regulator out of it, I do believe. I want to get the main, the heart running good before we start running into playing with the suspension stuff. We've got to fix the frame. I'll probably fix that frame before we even touch this. I might have touched on it earlier in the video. After looking at it, it's definitely bent. Driver's side, right where the hoop's at. I'll take you guys to show you real quick. So it's bent right in here. You can see, you look from, it's probably hard to catch it on camera, but the driver's side to the passenger side, this frame rail drops a couple inches at least. So we're going to end up having to fix that. There's just no ways around it. But I do believe a tree fell on this truck, smashed this entire side in. And when it did, it kinked the frame a little bit right in here. You can see where some paint's popped. It probably did it years ago. This truck came out of the Panhandle of Florida, so it probably happened about 5 years ago when the last major hurricane ran through. And it's probably been sitting ever since. But I don't think this is a big issue to fix. We should be able to tweak it back up. And then we're going to end up cutting this section out anyways when we do airbags, because we're going to do a C-notch when we do airbags, because I want this thing to sit low. So it ought to be a fun ride, guys. I'm going to learn some new things. Maybe show you guys some what not to do along the way. I'm sure there'll be plenty of those. But it's going to be fun nonetheless. Project that I've been wanting to do for a really, really long time. So with that, I think we're going to close the video out here on this one. And we'll bring you back when we're fixing that frame and start to fix these leaks, drop the transmission, and all that good jazz. But until then, you guys remember, like, subscribe, comment, and we'll see you next time.